Look, man, when they did that coaching search and they had a list of like 25 candidates, and I literally said, is there one that went to Michigan State? Because that person's getting the job. And sure enough, not to discredit Jordan Ott, he's been around the league for a long time, but like the way that Mat Ishbia has run this team, selecting Brian Gregory, a former college coach, to be his GM, Michigan State assistant coach to be his GM. It reminds me of the Charlotte Hornets under Michael Jordan when he hired Mitch Kupchak, former Chapel Hill guy, UNC guy, Mitch Kupchak to be his GM, and Buzz Peterson, Michael Jordan's roommate at college, to be the assistant GM. It just feels like that recipe of hiring your buddies, hiring your college buddies, isn't necessarily a recipe for success, but it is something you can do as an owner. Like, you paid $4 billion for this team. You want to take care of your guys, your buddies, you're more than welcome to do that. That is within your right. I just don't think that that is necessarily a recipe for success. And we've already seen that Kevin Durant is reportedly going to be shopped this summer and might be on the trade block. And I don't think that Jordan Ott is a guy that we've seen has a lot of confidence for. That wasn't Kevin Durant's pick, or that wasn't Bradley Beal's pick. They're saying that Devin Booker is a fan of him. I don't know how he would know that. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. But this feels like a very crony hire. Jordan Ott, Michigan State Spartan, GM, Michigan State Spartan, of course. Mat Ishbia, also a Michigan State guy. It's not the first time that like friends have hired friends into the front office. We just saw over there in Utah that Danny Ainge, the CEO of the Utah Jazz, are hiring Austin Ainge, his son, to run the basketball ops for the team. So like keeping things all in the family, that's always been true in the NBA. And it's just, I don't think, Dan, can you recall an owner, coach, and GM alma mater all the way down that chain? Have we ever seen that in the league? Like, I think the closest thing I could come up with is like Robert Sarver at University of Arizona, Steve Kerr, University of Arizona as the GM, and then like DeAndre Ayton selecting him number 1 overall instead of Luka Doncic and Trae Young. Like that's as close as I can remember, but I don't know. Does the alma mater lineage, like, has that happened to this degree that you can remember?
Not that I can remember, but also listen, if you're looking to replicate a successful process, whatever Robert Sarver was doing is definitely where you want to be shopping. That's the aisle you want to be shopping, and no doubt about it. That said, let me give you a quick zag. Previous to the Jordan Ott hire, the Phoenix Suns went with Monty Williams, who brought them to an NBA Finals. They went with Frank Vogel, who won an NBA championship. They went with Mike Budenholzer, who won an NBA championship. None of that worked. So why not get a guy who went to the same school as you? Like, I mean, if we're the process of going, like, we need somebody with championship experience. If that's not panning out, then try something different. Who knows? I don't know. 40-year-old guy with some good references and who went to the same school as me? Sure. What the hell? Why not? Let's give it a shot. Devin Booker, you like him? Great. Sounds tremendous. Who knows? The process and the approach in the last few years in Phoenix has left something to be desired. A different process. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Tough stuff over there in Phoenix, but congrats to Jordan Ott on the gig. Curious to see how that goes in Phoenix with that kind of payroll and that kind of in the new CBA. That's got to be a tough job, but congratulations to him, and congratulations to whoever was replacing Tom Thibodeau over there in New York. And I'm kind of secretly, bottom of my heart, like, want to see Jeff Van Gundy get that job. That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. I don't think it's going to happen. James Dolan, Jeff Van Gundy, I don't think that's a match made in heaven considering how it ended there. But, like, man, that would be really, really fun.
Yeah, I think it's unlikely, especially given, like, Tom Thibodeau was an assistant on Jeff Van Gundy's staff. I don't think he would want to be viewed as like, I'm following up after him as he gets hustled out the door. But just the vibes of JVG back to New York would be unbelievable. I was a teenager when he was the head coach of the Knicks, and I remember going to a game at Shea Stadium, a Mets game, and Jeff Van Gundy threw out the first pitch, and it was the loudest the building got. Like, no Todd Hundley home run, no Edgardo Alfonso heroics could have matched the full-throated chanting of Jeff Van Gundy at Shea Stadium. I think it would be a remarkable vibe restoration, but I think unlikely to come to fruition. Oh, I don't know, man. Listen, he He made his way back onto the
Yeah.
bench in LA with the Clippers last past year. There was a notable uptick in the amount of people publicly praising Jeff Van Gundy's work as a defensive coordinator. Our guy Yaron Weitzman wrote a feature for Yahoo Sports about the role Jeff Van Gundy played with the Clippers and on the defense. So there's like a public component of like, hey, let's get Jeff Van Gundy's name back out there a little bit. You know, who knows? I guess stranger things have happened, but maybe not very much stranger.
I think the Jay Wright thing is very interesting too. Is the fact that Jay Wright has won multiple championships with these guys on his roster: Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges. Like, as we saw with the Jordan Ott hire and the Brian Gregory hire, like that stuff kind of matters. You know, the alma mater, the where you were at college, like that. Those college ties does matter in the NBA.